Hey creative friends, welcome to my channel. In this video, I am going to be doing the recipe that I chose to use the meat that I got out of my freezer for the No Buying Meat for 6 Months challenge that Linda over at Linda's Pantry and I are doing. I'm super excited about this. It's a fun collaboration and it's giving us an opportunity to go through the meat that's in our freezer. So we also have a giveaway at the end of each month and a final giveaway at the end of 6 months, which is going to be awesome. But we already did the one giveaway for the month of May, and it was a lot of fun. But for this recipe, I'm going to be using this awesome recipe card box that I started collecting when I was first married. We've been married for 42 years. And this was the Betty Crocker recipe card library. And what you would do, you people, the ones that are from my generation probably remember, but every month you'd get a set of cards and you would build this entire library with all kinds of different categories and recipes in there. It's just a lot of fun. It was super fun to collect all of these cards, and there's just tons of recipes. But the recipe that I'm choosing today is one called foil wrapped dinners. And the foil wrapped dinner, it was a lot of fun. If you've ever been involved in scouting or something like that, then you may remember this kind of meal. It's where everything goes into a foil and then it's cooked and it's all put together, and it's just super easy and a lot of fun. So the ingredients that you're going to need is, I have the steak that I took out of the freezer and I cut it up into nice, like 1-inch chunks, because it's going to make 4 meals. So this is pretty good way to stretch that meat budget. Because there's so much in it and so much flavor, you don't have to have a whole lot of meat. So that one steak, which was a good sized steak, but it will serve for 4 of these foil wrap dinners. It's also going to take 4 potatoes cut up in nice chunks and 4 carrots cut up in, like, I have them where I cut them in half lengthwise and then in half widthwise. It also will take a 10-ounce package of frozen peas. The recipe also calls for a can of cream of mushroom soup and one of the packets of the onion soup mix. And those two things will be combined together to make an awesome flavor, kind of an awesome gravy. I've already combined those in this Pyrex mixing cup, so it's going to be ready to put over the mix. I also have decided to use some mushrooms. That's not in the recipe, but I had some that needed to be used, so I figured why not. So now what the recipe tells me to do is to get the aluminum foil out that you're going to need, because you're going to wrap the whole thing in large pieces of aluminum foil. I have already pulled mine off and they're ready to go. And I'm going to put the vegetables in the aluminum foil first, then the meat, then cover it with the soup mixture, and then put the peas on top and close up the aluminum foil into a nice big packet. And these are going to be baked at 450 degrees for 50 minutes. Now I've got my aluminum foil here, and I'm just going to start putting the vegetables on there. I'm going to start with the carrots and then the potatoes. And this will be just one of the meals, but like I said, this will actually create 4. So there's some carrot. And I kind of divide those up, so I kind of eyeball to make sure that I have 4 servings, so I don't get too much in one and not enough in another. There we go. And then I'm going to take about 1/4 of the meat. And I kind of eyeballed that. It's about 5 chunks, 4 or 5 chunks for each meal, because I cut it up so that there would be kind of an even amount. So there we have. I'll take about... There we are. Kind of divided those up. That looks fair. And then after you have the meat, you're going to take about 1/4 of the soup mixture and put on top of the whole thing. The nice thing about this is you don't really have to add any extra seasonings, because the seasonings that are in the soup mix are awesome. They taste wonderful. So I want to scrape a little bit of that off of there. And then you simply put the peas on top. The peas will sit on top in the foil wrapped dinner and kind of cook. They're not, if you put them in first, then they kind of get all mushy. So you want to put them in on top, about a quarter of that, and that would be about 2.5 ounces of peas, which is a nice serving. And I'm going to add those mushrooms that I just decided to do. Now, this would be a wonderful thing that you could do with maybe a chicken breast and cream of chicken soup, maybe some, I don't know, you could put cream of chicken soup and maybe some onion in there, and just, you could make all kinds of stuff. Mixed vegetables can go in there. It's just a fun thing. And this is a great meal that kids can prepare because it doesn't take a whole lot of actual baking with, or cooking with, pots and pans and things like that. It's kind of, there you go. So there's one packet made, and I'm going to go ahead and put together all 3 of the other ones, so I'll have all 4 packets ready to go. Look at that. It's a pretty quick meal, huh? So that's all 4 of them. You can put them on a baking sheet. I like to use this one. I have a nice baking sheet that's got like a little rack inside of it. I kind of like to use that. And so now I'm just going to put those in the oven at 450 degrees for 50 minutes. So it's just a little shorter than an hour if you want to plan this out. But it's an awesome, easy, and the flavor is going to be awesome because everything cooks together inside of that little foil packet, and it's going to be absolutely delicious. All right, 50 minutes has gone by, and I've taken these out of the oven, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop one on a plate here for you. And it's kind of fun if you want to, like when we were kids, we used to like to just open the foil and eat them right there. Or you can peel the foil apart and then just kind of pour them out on the plate. But the way everything cooks together inside the aluminum foil just makes it so yummy. Okay, there's that outside piece. I just put that on there kind of as a precaution. Oh, looky there. You see? Yeah, when we were kids, we would just open it up and eat it out like that because there is the liquid on there. So I think I'll do that because there is quite a bit of liquid on this one. But let me get a fork and I'll show you. And what I'm serving with this tonight is a little bit of cottage cheese and some fresh fruit. So I'm just going to put this off here. And the potatoes, oh, they're perfect. And the meat is super tender and yummy, and it just smells super good. So, there you have it. This week's recipe from the freezer, no buying meat for 6 months freezer challenge that Linda and I are doing, and I think that turned out awesome. So there you have it. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.